She came back to my clinic 6 weeks after we diagnosed her perimenopause. She said, I read everything. I tried to fix it myself first. Better sleep, less sugar, more walking. I thought if I just tried hard enough, I wouldn't need anything else. I felt like needing treatment meant I had failed at managing my own body. I hear a version of this constantly. Women who treat needing medical support as a personal defeat, as if managing a major hormonal transition alone is the measure of strength. It is not. And today I want to walk you through what actually helps, the medical option, the physiological changes that genuinely make a difference, and why asking for support here is not weakness. It is exactly the kind of competence that has gotten you through every other difficult chapter of your life. There are two paths through perimenopause management, and most women benefit from some combination of both. Not one instead of the other, often both together. The medical path is Menopausal Hormone Therapy (MHT). The physiological path is sleep, strength training, nutrition, and stress regulation. And I want to be clear, these are not vague lifestyle suggestions. They are physiological interventions that directly affect your hormone metabolism, your cortisol response, and your nervous system regulation. Neither path is inherently better. The right combination depends on your specific symptoms, your history, and your goals. Now let's talk about MHT clearly, briefly, and honestly. What it does: MHT replaces estrogen and often progesterone to stabilize the fluctuations that are causing your symptoms. This is not simply topping up a declining level. It is addressing the erratic swings we talked about in the last video. Who it's often considered for: women with significant vasomotor symptoms, hot flashes, night sweats, sleep disruption, or mood symptoms substantially affecting their quality of life. And here is what I want every woman watching this to understand. The decision to use MHT is individual. Your history, your risk factors, your symptom severity, all of it matters. This is not something I can tell you yes or no to in a YouTube video. This is a conversation you have with your gynecologist based on your specific picture. Here is something I have observed repeatedly in my clinic, and it matters more than most discussions of MHT acknowledge. When treatment works, women don't just tell me I'm sleeping better. They say, I feel like myself again. That distinction matters enormously. The rage, the fog, the exhaustion. By the time many women reach my clinic, they have started to believe these are simply who they have become, not symptoms, a new, worse version of themselves. Effective treatment doesn't just reduce symptoms, it returns her sense of self. That is not a side benefit. For many women, that is the entire point. Now let's talk about the three lifestyle pillars. Pillar 1: sleep. What it means: protecting a consistent sleep window, same wake time daily, cool room, no screens 45 minutes before bed. Why it works physiologically: sleep regulates your cortisol rhythm and supports estrogen metabolism. Deep sleep stages restore the prefrontal cortex, the brain region governing emotional regulation, and poor sleep amplifies every other perimenopause symptom simultaneously. It is the single highest leverage intervention on this list. Psychological layer. Fixing sleep first often produces the fastest psychological shift. Women frequently report feeling more like themselves within 2 weeks of consistent sleep, often before any other intervention has had time to take effect. Pillar 2: strength training. What it means: resistance training 2 to 3 times weekly, not cardio alone. Building and maintaining muscle mass becomes physiologically urgent during this transition. Why it works physiologically? Estrogen decline accelerates muscle loss and bone density reduction. Muscle tissue improves insulin sensitivity, directly countering the weight changes we discussed last week. And resistance training measurably reduces cortisol reactivity over time. Psychological layer. Many women discover strength training restores a sense of physical control at exactly the time their body feels least predictable. That sense of agency matters as much as the physiological benefit itself. Pillar 3. Nutrition and stress regulation. What it means: reducing refined carbohydrates, prioritizing protein at each meal, and building a deliberate stress regulation practice, not eliminating stress, which isn't realistic, but changing your physiological response to it. Why it works physiologically? Stabilizing blood sugar reduces the cortisol spikes that worsen hot flashes and mood swings. Adequate protein supports neurotransmitter production, directly affecting mood stability. And stress regulation, that is breath work, walking, deliberate rest, lowers your baseline cortisol, easing vasomotor symptoms. Psychological layer. This is not about discipline or willpower. It is about giving an already dysregulated nervous system fewer additional stressors to manage on top of the hormonal ones it cannot control on its own. I want to close on the thing that patient said to me, that needing treatment felt like failure. You did not fail at managing your 20s or your 30s hormonally. Your body simply was not in transition then. There was nothing to manage at this scale. Needing structured support during a major hormonal shift is not a personal feeling. It is what every significant transition requires. Pregnancy, postpartum, this. Asking for help here is the same kind of competence that has gotten you through every other difficult chapter of your life. It is not the opposite of strength. It is what strength actually looks like in this particular season. If last week's video helped you recognize what was happening in your body, I hope this one helps you see that you have real options and that reaching for them is not weakness. Talk to your gynecologist. Bring the tracker. Ask the questions. You don't have to manage this alone, and you were never supposed to. Your body has a logic. This channel exists to give you the language for it.